Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome back to Let's Play Subnautica. This is episode 10, and we have some upgrades to do before we go back down into the lava zone. But first things first, I actually want to add onto our launch pad here. So I already have the materials ready, and let's build the gantry. Is this a functional elevator? It is. So I assume this is where we would board our rocket once it was ready. And it gives us a general idea of how big the rocket is going to be. Actually, I probably could have dived into the ocean from up there. Also, I'm getting little Fallout 4 flashbacks with this base of the launch pad. Looks like the vault door coming out of the ground. Or I guess the vault elevator. Alright, so what do we need for the next part? Plasteel, nickel, aerogel, wiring kit. So that's nothing that I can't really build right now. But I want to focus on the depth module upgrades first. So let's pop into the Cyclops and yank the
all systems online.
Depth module so that I can upgrade it. I have to remember to put the other power cell back in before we leave. Actually, yeah, I already have that on me, so I'll put that back in. I just took it out to charge it. And we're also going to want the depth module from the Prawn, since we'll need to upgrade that as well. There is the upgrade panel. Okay, take that out.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright, so to upgrade that, we need prawn suit, lithium, kyanite, and titanium. And of course, we brought back a load of kyanite last time. So I just need to grab some titanium here. Alright, so that'll let us go down to the maximum depth for the prawn suit. Oh, also, I mentioned that the blood kelp was the last of the escape pods. However, there was one I actually missed in the crag field, which is where this fella came from. As well as this here. And the log for that, nope, not that one. Data downloads, Aurora survivors. I believe this is LifePod 7.
I've tried everything. The analysis circuits on the fabricator are fried. Can barely manufacture the most basic of materials. Want a battery? Here, have a children's toy. Need deep-sea diving equipment? Have some lab tech. Hungry? I'll turn that fruit into dust for you. Going forward with trial and error. I hit every button here has got to make something useful eventually.
So yeah, that life pod just had a fried fabricator that gave them garbage instead of what they needed. Alright, so I need nickel ore. I thought I had nickel ore on me. Oh, that's silver. I don't need that. Where did... Oh, right. I put the nickel in advanced materials because I didn't have space in the other one. Okay, so... upgrade the Cyclops depth module. And then upgrade it again. Alright, so now we can take both of those down to the deepest depths. And I also wanted to build... No, it's not there. I wanted to build the shield module for the Cyclops. Just in case. Which you can only build from the upgrade platform, or upgrade fabricator back here. And that'll just allow me to toggle on a shield when we come under attack. Though it does use a lot of power, so you don't want to leave it on too long. I also built the Cyclops efficiency module, the one that I got on the Aurora before I died and lost it forever. Alright, so we're just about ready here. Hey, buddy. Where did he go? You notice in that one you don't actually give him the food, you just kind of show him that your little magic trick and that's it. Alright, so what was I doing? Alright, gotta put the prawn module in. Oop, that's storage. And I guess maybe I should pop over to the facility for a second to grab some water. That is, of course, the beacon that I mentioned last time not to pay attention to, because it wasn't complete. But it's a little something I'm working on the side.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
You can see the gravity well is still working. Or the grav trap, I guess. It really seems like the only purpose for that is to snag an easy supply of fish to cook. Also, look how low this reef back is getting. It's like grinding across the sand. But you can see when they actually start to hit the ground, they like bounce off and start to go higher again.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
So the facility here is powered by a nuclear reactor, unlike the main base, which generates so much power that it doesn't really matter that I have two of these water filtration machines going. The reason I didn't build them before is because they are a constant drain on your power, and while the thermal power plants do constantly supply power, I'm not sure the rate would be enough. However, I could actually just fill this room with these things and have like endless water, because the nuclear reactor produces power so quickly that I don't really have to worry about running out, and when it runs out, I just swap in some more reactor rods. Though I wish it told you how much power these had left in them before you had to swap them. But yeah, so the facility here is my kind of central breeding laboratory, where I hope to produce large amounts of specimens and then release them into the wild. You can see here, this is like a blood kelp tank. Jelly shroom tank. I guess it's just the kelp zone. And I got some stalkers in there. For some reason, the creep vine is the only, like, luminescent plant that when you plant it is really bright. And then I've got another one back here that I think I'm going to turn into a safe shallows one with some gasopods, since I picked up some gasopod eggs. And this one I need to find some amp eel eggs. I would actually like to take a little excursion out to the bulb zone to pick up some bulbs as well as some of those eggs. I don't know if we'll do that in this episode, because we have a facility to explore. Alright, so we'll leave the Revenge docked here because obviously we can't take it with us. And let's dock the Fish Puncher.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Just thinking, what else do we need to take with us? I kind of gathered a lot of quartz in the process of making the facility, because, you know, you need a lot of glass to make all those tanks. I am going to need some tablets. Remember that much. So what do we need to make more purple tablets? Personal, tools, actually I think it's equipment. Purple tablet is just ion cube and diamond. Well, we've got the ion cubes on the Cyclops. So I think we only need 2 tablets. Alright. Let's begin the trip.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
It's a long way to go, but
Engine powering up.
it's a bit routine at this point. What am I trying to build here? The tablets. I would actually like to build one more thing before we go, if I have the material for it.
Welcome aboard,
Which
Captain.
is the jump jet upgrade for the Prawn. Nickel ore, crystalline sulfur, titanium, lithium. I have all of that. How many was that? 2 nickel, 3 sulfur, and 5 titanium. Oh, I guess that's in the crystals box. And 2 of the nickel. And some more titanium. Nope, need 1 more. Okay, so this will just allow us to get around a fair bit quicker in the prawn suit. Alright, now we are ready to go. Sadly, you can't do that fast enough to do like the Jaws theme. So again, we're just going to go straight down through the Deep Grand Reef, since we didn't really have that much trouble last time. This hoopfish is not even dead, I don't think. It's just like pinned under the Cyclops. Alright, and we hang right here. I believe this is... Nope, we might not be deep enough. A little bit lower. Down into the cave. Try not to hit this big floating stone. Thankfully, I don't know if you saw it there, but the warpers cannot warp you out of the Cyclops. I got hit with a warp shot there. You can see the shield is on our right here, so it's easy to deploy. Now I just have to remember where the Lost River is again. I really should have left a beacon down here. But as long as we stick to the walls, we should start to see those brine pools again. I think that's a crab squid coming in hot. Bit of a tight squeeze, but actually these caverns are bigger than you think. Just gonna get a lot of proximity warnings. And one of them is right on top of me. Notice how the lights just seem to actually make it harder to see unless it's really pitch black. Alright, so Lost River passing through here. And that camera down there is right where we need to go to progress back into the inactive lava zone. It turns out last time, when I was hopping around with the prawn suit, I was actually farther than I thought because that was the central chamber we were in. And the central chamber is actually where we need to go. There's that Ghost Leviathan, always hanging out near this side of this room. I think we're just gonna blow past him with the shields. Oh boy, that took a big chunk out of our power though. And he's still hot on our tail.
Ahead flagged. Emergency speed. Warning. Vessel counted. Excessive noise. Ahead standard. Warning. Creature attack.
Now we can only leave the head flank on for about 10... Oh shit. I'm gonna say 10 seconds.
Engine
Alright.
powering down.
Let's solve this problem. Where's the fire at? And the back.
Warning. Fire extinguished. Air scrubbers initiated.
Alright, Alright, now I just have to fix all the holes. I mean, it's kind of easier to just, you know, repair the damage than it is to take the big hit to the energy. Because if we run out of batteries down here, this thing is not going anywhere. I really should have built some extra power cells. Okay, any other damage? There's one hole in the back, it looks like. I like that you can look through the front there and see the damage report screen. Okay, that should be it. You'll notice too, the Ghost Leviathan didn't even pursue very far. Okay, we're back up to full. But that's because I turned the engine on.
Powering up.
When the engine is off, pretty much any hostile creature will just ignore you. This is the wrong way. I need to turn all the way around. Need to head over towards the Brine Falls kind of area.
Ahead flagged. Emergency speed. Warning. Vessel calculating. Excessive noise. Ahead standard.
I'm not sure the river prowlers are actually big enough to damage the Cyclops. Early on, when they added the Cyclops damage, there was a point when basically anything, including like bone sharks and stalkers, could damage the sub, but that was a little ridiculous because you were just under constant attack at all times. Alright, say hi to the Sea Dragon Leviathan, though it's not the only one we'll be seeing in this episode.
Ahead flagged. Emergency speed. Warning. Vessel calculating. Excessive noise. Ahead standard.
I feel like the amount of time you can leave that on before your sub catches on fire isn't really significant enough to make it useful. Now, thankfully, because I have that efficiency module, actually just driving this Cyclops uses so little battery that I don't really have to worry about it. It's only stuff that uses big chunks of energy, like charging the prawn or using the shields. Well, there goes another one, spinning off into space. If only we could harness their slingshot ability, we could just get into space like that. Also, in the broadcast, when they mention that we'll need a massive power source to get the escape rocket off the ground, I'm assuming it's going to be made out of ion crystals, like lots of them. Which, right now, we don't have access to lots of them, so we'll have to keep pressing deeper for that.
Seek fluid intake.
Well, it's a good thing I brought that fluid with me.
Vital signs stabilizing.
And that water is actually worth 50, so it's one of the best. So before we continue, I'm gonna grab this stuff. Because I actually want to finish off something down here before we continue. Something is grinding against the sub. These little bastards. Able to sense and drain thermal and electrical energy. Attracted to energy sources of all kinds, draws energy from its prey to survive. And you can just hear them attaching in large numbers. Now you can kill them, but it takes quite a few hits because of their armored shell. And it's gonna be pretty much impossible to keep these things off completely. I'm surprised they don't attach to your bases. Oh. Huh. I guess my my moon pool that I was building down here disappeared because I didn't finish it. So that's no good. Or did...
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Did I deconstruct it? Also, this base down here is powered by thermal as well, so it's got another constant power supply. Yeah, I guess it didn't stay down here. I mostly built this just to build a scanner room as well as a place to charge the prawn, but it's a shame that it unbuilt all my progress towards the moon pool because all I needed was lubricant and lead to finish it. I guess they never changed that. So as a side note, don't start building anything that needs a lot of resources without finishing it before stopping playing.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
Oh well. Pressing on. So our main goal is in the center of the large chamber we were in. And of course, last time we had to worry about the depth maximum, but here we are pretty much free to wander around without worrying, now that we have these upgrades. Though to reach the deepest destination, we will be brushing up against the edge of the Cyclops depth module maximum. As you can see, we've only got about 600 meters here before we cap out. Oh, one of the other things I scanned while we were in between episodes was a heavily infected Karar creature. If you see here... Maybe it's not that one, it's one of these here. And reefbacks are technically classed as leviathans as well. Not all of the leviathans in the game are predators. I believe even the... what are they called? I was gonna say silt striders, but wrong series. The sea treaders are classed as leviathans as well. So this is kind of where we were last time, just on the ground down there. But we actually need to... Look at that little shit. We need to press on. There we go. I think that's where we need to go. The structure, the lava castle. I wonder where the sea dragon is. I mean, obviously we can hear him.
Engine powering down.
But I don't see him. He's usually kind of hanging out around the top.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
And let's pop that upgrade module in there. Oop. That's not what I meant to do. So now the jump jets have a lot more speed and power, as you can see. Is there a leech on here? No, I think that's coming from my Cyclops. Catch sight of our big angry friend here, but I can't find him. Oh, there he is. He's gonna start shooting fire at me. Definitely got his attention. Can't hit his actual body. Otherwise I could kind of grapple onto him. Now I'm going to do something foolish, and I'm going to get a scan of him. You know, a lot of the time he looks kind of goofy, but when he's looking directly at you like that, his eyes are actually fairly creepy.
Materials and a massive energy signature. Reading originates within the natural.
Gosh, you are quick. Look how slow he looks like he's moving. Oh, and... okay. Well, I can't follow you into the ceiling. He was ejected. Come back here before I run out of batteries. They are a fair bit larger than the Reaper Leviathans. No, he's still out of range. And they're supposed to be more dangerous, but I'm just not seeing it. Nope, I had him for a second.
Calorie intake recommended.
Also, he is really bad at turning quickly, which is why he's not really attacking me. I'm not sure how he fired that fireball, like, backwards. Oh, don't you go in the wall. Oh, he got stuck. come on. Be like 2% more. Can you just, like, get wedged for a second? Thank you. There we go. Got her scan. That's considerably harder to do with a Reaper. Usually if you want to scan a Reaper, you gotta blast him with a stasis rifle. Though I think the Sea Dragon can swallow you whole as well. 112 meters in length. Consume molten materials and expel them. One of the oldest species. I mean, even that dead one was 1,000 years dead. The one in the Lost River. So obviously they've been around since the Karar catastrophe. Sorry, I keep calling it Karar. It's Kara now. It's a problem when they change all the names. Sea Dragon likely ventures out into cooler waters to hunt other, smaller leviathans, cornering them and forcing them deeper, where they are ultimately boiled alive. Extremely low population. Species may be nearing extinction. And it mentions how they drag other leviathans down and boil them, which if we look over here, you can see the Reaper Leviathan skeleton. Hey, buddy. Tried to do an successful, not accessible, an unsuccessful dive bomb on me. Unsuccessful. Gotta say it slowly. Alright, so I'm gonna find a hole in Lava Castle in order to find the thing we're actually looking for. I thought there was one there. So
Emergency.
Cyclops is
Starvation
there.
Imminent. Seek calorie intake immediately.
I mean, the entrance should be pretty obvious. It has just a big hole in the side. There it is. I probably should grab more kyanite, because I think we're going to need it for some point in building the rocket. But I'll worry about that later. And we should be able to find some fish to eat, even in here. Also, I guess I was wrong about the kyanite not coming in
Rock, which has
small
formed
amounts
in this
anymore.
area can be carbon dated to between 800 and 3,000 Earth years ago.
Also, this place is where you get lava lizard eggs. So we'll take a pair of those back. I guess I would have to build another aquarium in the facility for lava creatures, like the magmarangs and the red eye-eyes.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Though there aren't any plants that grow down here. And here is another Precursor facility. Relatively simple, but of alien origin. These things are basically just maintenance robots, but they will attack you with their little zappy welding torch things.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
And we'll break up this deposit of ion cubes. Oh, right. I don't actually have any because they're in the prawn.
Calorie intake recommended.
So this will activate a portal, and I believe this one leads back to the island. These things are sort of disguised loading screens, because they have to load the area that they teleport to. So I believe this is within the gun itself. Yep. Back on the mountain island. So this creates a shortcut between here and there. That will come in handy later. Though actually not too much, because there isn't too much reason to return to the facility we're currently in. And thankfully it looks like going through those does not disable all your beacons like it used to. Though I've noticed, you notice how the life pod beacon is just kind of there on the left side of my screen? That seems to be a weird new bug, so you just have to turn it on and off to get it to go away.
New blueprint acquired.
So that we will need to access the next facility. That was actually the one I was confusing with the...
Come here. To me.
orange tablet. Now that is the main thing we wanted to get out of here. However, there is another important thing down here. It'll come in handy.
Integrating new PDA data.
So most of the things between 10,000 and 1,000 years ago don't really have much correlation with what exists on the planet now. And 1,000 years ago, there were 300% higher concentrations of organic remains, indicating that, you know, everything died off after that due to the Kara outbreak. Because when the Sea Dragon Leviathan attacked the disease research facility, the bacterium was released and killed off most of the existing species. So this is what powers all of the alien facilities on the planet, including stuff like the warpers, which are, you know, wirelessly absorbing power. There's no way to shut it off though, so we can't disable the gun that way.
Integrating new PDA data. Primary alien facility location updated. Volcanic area connected to this cave system at depth 1.4 kilometers.
You can see there's self-warping quarantine enforcement units, the teleporter arc network, or arch, I don't know why I said arc, sanctuaries, which are the little kind of precursor deposits that you can find around, the quarantine enforcement platform, obviously the gun, disease research facility, which is destroyed so it's not using power, primary containment facility, which is where we're going next, and just 20% on reserve. However, the other thing we actually wanted is this here.
Integrating new PDA data. Synthesizing ion powered blueprints from alien data. Blueprints stored to databank. Emergency. Starvation imminent. Seek calorie intake immediately.
So with that, we can now use the ion cubes to make ion power, batteries, and power cells, which are something like 3 to 5 times more power each. So I'll definitely want to make a bunch of those with the power cells we have left. However, we are also going to need to make a secondary tablet. Since we need 2 of those blue tablets for the primary containment facility. It's actually probably easier just to grab this kyanite, since you have such a low chance of getting it from the resource deposits. so let's hop back in the Cyclops. I will see what we need to make the other blue tablet, because if we can make a second one, then we can just go straight to the next one in the next episode without having to go back up to the surface.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Systems online.
Did one of those stick to my prawn right as I got out?
Calorie intake recommended.
Doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, this thing shows all the leeches we've got. So we don't have a lot of power left, which is a problem. And I probably should have built the thermal reactor before coming down here. Well, I mean, worst comes to worst, I can go back to the Lost River base, because I did build that power cell charger. Okay, blue tablet is just ion cube and kyanite. So what I think I'm going to do is, in between episodes, I'll go back to the base and charge up the batteries. And then we'll continue from there directly to the primary containment facility next time.
Engine powering up.
But until then, I think that'll do it for episode 10 of Let's Play Subnautica, as we get closer and closer to the conclusion here of the story, before we can finally build our rocket and escape. Until next time, take care everyone.